ladies and gentlemen, live on the Fuse UK. It's the one and only, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man too sweet to be sour. He is your friend. He is my friend, but he's not the friend behind the person standing behind you. Luke Hughes.
Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. Got a big special guest on the show tonight, none other than the president of the BKFC, Mr. David Feldman. How are you doing, David? You all right, mate?
Nice sweatshirt, my man.
Did you like it?
Beautiful, man. We're doing great, man. We're having a busy weekend here, and just gonna march into December 2nd and crush 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing year, mate. I see you've just come off the presser there for December 2nd. What was it like to do that?
It was tough, man. I mean, whenever you're dealing with these bigger guys, it's not an easy negotiation. But we wanted to finish off the year really, really strong and go into 2024 with a big plan, and we have that, and we were able to finish really strong. We're going to have a hell of a show. It, could be our biggest one ever, depending on ticket sales and pay-per-view viewership. But it looks great.
Wicked, and it's good to see our very own Mick Terrell get his chance again with Arnold Adams on your side of the pond for the belt again.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was sick, and he wasn't the top Mick Terrell going into that first fight. So we're going to see, because you can't make that excuse twice, right? So if he's the Mick Terrell that everybody says he is and that I saw, it's going to be a tough night for Arnold Adams. And if he's not, then we'll see what happens. But Mick Terrell's always been great for us. Nice to everybody here. Good for the organization, and glad to see him getting his chance at redemption.
And if Mick was successful, how do you think it would elevate the sport of the BKFC in the UK if he become the heavyweight champion?
I think it's big. I mean, it makes real BKFC, not that the UK isn't, but I mean the top tier BKFC championship fights take place over there. I think it takes it to another level. I think the fight that we have this Saturday is probably the most stacked entire fight card that we've ever had in the UK, including the big Wembley show, although we had a big main event there. But I think from top to bottom on this card, it's probably one of the best cards that we're going to have the entire year of 2023. Andrew did a nice job. Mark did a great job. It looks great, and I'm excited to see that.
Oh, definitely, mate. Every single fight is like a 50-50 fight. And Danny Christie, Jared Warren, that's going to be an absolute war, because Jared likes to stand and bang, and everybody knows what Danny Christie is all about.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a test for him, right? I mean, he gets by Jared Warren, he's in line. We just got to figure out, he has some issues. Lorenzo Hunt has some issues. Who's going to be able to get to the other one's country and see who is the best, right? But he's got to get past Jared Warren first, and Jared Warren can really punch. He's a big time puncher, and if he walks through Jared Warren's punches, then Danny Christie certainly puts himself in a great position for us. And if Jared Warren pushes down Danny Christie, then maybe he wasn't always hyped up to be, but I think he is. He's took some tremendous shots and come back and scored sensational knockouts in some of the best fights that we've had so far. And he's always been good, always been a nice guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. So I think that I'm really looking forward to that fight and all the other fights on the card. But that fight has Fight of the Night all over it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, but there's another big local derby fight on the show between Robbie Brown and Gary Fox.
Yeah.
Robbie Brown got his name sort of in the underground world, fighting heavyweights at 65 kilograms and winning. And he's got a following off the likes of Joe Rogan and all that supporting him. And then Gary Fox is ex-pro, tough as they come, and it's going to make out for the proper war. So you'll have to keep your eye on that one.
I'm seeing a lot of hype around Robbie Brown right now. I think people are really, really excited to see him, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. But I've heard a lot about him. I've heard that he had some sensational scraps in the underground, and we're going to see if he's made for mainstream right now.
Yeah, and how so far in the UK, the full year, how have you seen the events progress? Have you seen the UK doing well so far?
It's gaining a little bit of ground, and then I had a real good talk with Andrew, and I I think that when you're not used to the bigger time stuff, you don't understand what I was looking for. And I really explained to him what I was looking for, and he delivered it to me this Saturday. So he gave me a great show. I said, look, I know you might want to cut purses and do this and do that. But at the end of the day is if we don't have great fights, because that's what we built this whole company upon, right? The whole sport's upon great fights. If we don't have great fights, we don't have a company. So go out there and give me a card full of great fights. And he gave me a card full of great fights. And if it lives up to what's on paper, like I said, it could be one of the best cards the entire year of 2023. I'm excited about it. And I think this puts us in a really good position. Plus, we're talking to a major TV network over there, two of them actually,
Nice.
one OTT network and one actual TV network. And, you know, if one of those two comes on board in late December, early January, I think 2024 could be just a mega year for us in the UK.
That's amazing, mate. That's all it needs. It just needs that little push and it'll just blow up. It'll go massive, mate. It already is, but it'll go to that next step, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I tell everybody that like all you gotta do is watch it, right? People go, oh, I don't know. And I go, did you watch it? And they go, no. I said, just watch it once. Just watch it once. And I guarantee it becomes your favorite combat sport out there. And I've been wrong, never. No one that's in the combat sports has ever come to me and said, it's not for me. They love it. It's sensational. Now we're breaking the bad perception, the negative perception down among TV networks, among sponsors, and among the regulators. And now we're about to announce some unbelievable things that happen here in the United States in the next month that never thought were going to happen, and they're happening. So the barriers are going down, and we're being able to walk through everything. And I think that just makes our job a lot easier in 2024. Look, people don't get it. Like, oh, you're putting on fights, and then they complain about this and that. They just don't understand. Like, it's not just putting on fights. It's breaking down barriers. It's breaking down perception. It's educating people on what the sport is. This isn't like we're starting another football league or another mixed martial arts league or boxing promotion. We started a new sport. So when you start a new sport, people don't know what it is. You have to teach them what it is. You have to teach them about all the goods and the bads, the positives, the negatives about the whole entire situation. And when you do, and then they watch it, they become fans. And the best promotion that we can, you know, ever get is when fans tell other fans that they have to come. And that's how this thing really, really grows.
Yeah, and you watch it on the TV or wherever you're watching it, and you think you've seen it all, and then you go to a live event and you hear them shots live, and it's just totally different. Again,
all the time. I go like this. People ask me for the story, and I go, you know, whatever. I talked to this guy, and then I heard this, and I was like, like that's the sound. That sound, you don't. That's like nothing else ever. That's nothing you've ever heard before. And when you hear it, you're like, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Listen, I've been in boxing since I've been in diapers. My dad trained 7 world champions. He had a championship fight 3 days after I was born. I fought professional. I've been in this my whole life. And I sit on the edge of my seat every bare knuckle fight. It's like nothing else I've ever seen. Because one punch, I know one punch in boxing and one punch in MMA changes everything. But literally, one punch in this changes everything. Everything.
Yeah, it definitely does. I love the whole fight weekend when you're in the hotel around the fighters and just the feeling and the sense around everybody, because everybody knows what's coming on Saturday night type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's a great thing, and you know I love it. I'm glad we started this thing. Most of the fighters, you know, 98% of the fighters are just great people. On top of it, you know, you get your 1 or 2% everywhere in the world that isn't that great, but there's a different respect among bare knuckle fighters. This is really as real as it gets, and it's really as intimate as it gets, right? You're sharing a ring with someone bare knuckles, and your goal is to take their head off, right? And you come out of there with your eyes swollen, your face cut, and you get to hug your guy and do a you know, your opponent and have a beer with him, and then you know you settle your differences that way, and it's just something very intimate. At the same time, it's brutal. It's exciting. It's like there's so many great adjectives I can use to describe bare knuckle fighting championship. I mean, like I said, I still sit on the edge of my seat. I still do. Like people say sometimes now, they say I come to the fights to watch you react to the fights. Like they love it because I'm literally like I'm into it. I'm not just like in boxing. It's good, but I'll just sit there like, good punch. Here I'm like, it's great. So, I'm still excited about it, and if I'm still excited about it, doing it for all these years, it's not going to be hard for me to get the fans excited about it.
It's definitely not, mate. And can I just clear something up while you're on? A lot of people are getting confused with box rec, and I don't think that them rankings are really accurate because they've got other promotions.
So box rec, even in boxing, they just go by records. Like they don't know who's fighting who. If you have a 4-0 record and a guy has a 4-1 record, the guy's ranked number 1, the other guy's ranked number 30. Like it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with anything. They don't look at the fighter. They don't say, can this guy fight? Did this guy beat that guy? They don't do any of that. They go, what's your record? And there you are, 1 to 100. So the box rec is a great organization for us to keep the suspensions, to keep everybody's records, to know how we can match the guys. But as far as a ranking system goes, it's not a real true ranking system. It's a rating amongst records, if you understand the difference.
Yeah. And the prospect series and tryouts have been going very well over here in the UK. What's your thoughts on all them?
Yeah, I love it. I think what our plan is in 2024 is to do a BKFC tryout at the beginning of every month. Really, we'll do it the month before, but we'll air it the beginning of every month, and we'll do the fight the end of every month.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a chance to get to know these guys, right? You're going to see them in the tryout. You're going to see us pick 4 guys, 8 guys, 10 guys out from the tryout. You're going to hear their story, what they've been through. So we're going to do this. It's going to be called BKFC. What's your why? What's your why? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to fight? Why do you want to do bare knuckle? What makes you get up in the morning and say that you can be the best at this sport? Then we go into the prospect series. Again, pick 4, 6, 8, 10 guys out of there and bring them up to BKFC. So now you're able to really follow the whole journey. You know where the guys came from. You know their struggles, and you can cheer for them and you can hate them, right? Like I said, look to the guys. I said, listen, we're going to get some great stories, but I also want the stories where nobody likes this guy. He used to beat up everybody and nobody likes him, and they root against him. They want to see him get knocked out. I want them too, and we're going to get all that.
Yeah, you need your bad guys, don't you?
Yep.
And if you had any advice to give to the prospects and even the fighters who were fighting on the main cards, and that's just to elevate themselves and do well within the BKFC, other than fighting well, what advice would you give them?
Say that one more time, Lou. I'm sorry.
What advice would you give to the prospects and BKFC fighters in the UK who are wanting to excel within the BKFC?
When you go out there and fight your first fight, go out there and fight your asses off. Like really leave it all in the ring. Go in there, and if you get hit with a punch, punch back. Don't take a knee. Don't turn your back. Don't dance around and try to play it safe. We don't want play it safe. We want play it dangerous. We want you to go in there and fight your ass off. You go in there and fight your ass off and give it all you got. You got a great shot at coming up to BKFC. Win or lose. And I mean that, win or lose.
Yeah. And have you got any news for us on Conor Tini and James Lilly?
Definitely getting them back early in 24. Not sure where they're going to go or how we're going to do it, but we're 100% going to get them back early in the year. Absolutely. 2 guys I really like, 2 guys that are very talented, and 2 nice guys. Great
stuff, mate. And I won't keep you on too long, mate, because I know you're a very busy man. But is there anything else that you want to share with us tonight, mate, before we wrap it up?
We're just looking at making UK a big part of BKFC's growth next year. We're also going to travel over to Ireland, so we're going to do. We're probably going to do a few shows over there next year, and we just really want to blow this thing up. I think the big thing is just getting people to know who the fighters are, and once we do that, it's able for them to become fans and become more of a supporter of the sport, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're going to do, and I'm just excited about BKFC UK. I think it has a great potential for next year, and I really can't wait for Saturday night. It's going to be a great night.
It definitely is, mate. And one last question before you go. Is there going to be any big pay-per-view shows in the UK next year, like the MVP and Perry show?
Yeah, I think it'll be in the summer. We're going to do one. We're working on some 1 or 2 really, really big names right now. So definitely in the summer.
Great stuff, mate. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, David, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
Thanks, brother. Take care, Lou.
See you later, David. Bye, mate. Bye-bye. Yes, people, thank you for tuning in there. It's much appreciated, as always. The president himself there, Mr. David Feldman, telling us all about what's happening in the UK. BKFC 55 this Saturday. Do not miss it. Danny Christie versus Jared Warren with a stacked undercard. There's going to be absolute fireworks. If you didn't get a ticket, make sure you download the BKFC app from all the app stores. It's around about £8, and it's not just this fight that you're going to get in with this subscription. It's every single BKFC event, and there's BKFC Bulgaria on Friday. So that's 2 events just this weekend alone. Don't be silly, people. Get it done. It's a no-brainer. Big respect to Rick Doherty from RSD Recoveries and Transportations for sponsoring the show. It's much appreciated as always. And big up the BKFC and the BKFC UK. Let's go.